to Burnout. Burnout Revenge, I believe it is. Round 3 redo of Burnout Revenge, New Vegas. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is a man who eats 2 bagels with a gaggle of Fraggles. It's Magas.
Oh, what are Fraggles in this case?
Fraggle, you remember Fraggle Rock?
Okay, we're going that.
You
we're
might
going
be
Fraggle.
a little too young for Fraggle Rock.
I never actually watched Fraggle Rock, but I am familiar with the existence of the show.
It was a kid show when I was a kid, and it was good.
It was still on when I was a kid. I just never watched it. I don't particularly know why.
Also, the old man from Fraggle Rock who had the dog who lived in his house. That's the same guy that has the Tourette's in Boondock Saints.
Oh. There we go. Anyways, we're at BRNO. This is a redo of the original 3rd round of the Super Series, which I want to say something happened with the server, and as a result, the results were just scrubbed from the record. I think like a bunch of people lost connection with the server, and as a result, we're doing a redo here. BRNO is a track in the Czech Republic. And that's about all I really have to add to the matter. And we got a pretty healthy looking field here. 17 cars, 8 prototypes, 9 GTs. Possibly there are more in the field. It's Steve Davidson on pole, Byron. I don't think we've seen that.
Steve Dave.
Max Simmons in second. Now, we have seen a couple of really good qualifying efforts from Steve Dave. He definitely has that 1-lap pace. Can he put it together today? That's the question. Max Simmons, Tobias Thierol, Bertrand Barre, Martin Edmonds. Newcomer to the field, Jeremy Reeder. Really familiar to us on the Assetto Corsa Competizione side, but this, I think, is the first time we've seen him in RaceRoom. And Andrew D., Henrik Andreasen. Your pretty tightly packed prototype field. And in the GT field, it is Ariel Zatoni, Magic Katchuk, Luciano Echazo, D. Bum, Rene Ermer, Vic Vega, Adam Komorowski, Mauricio Delgado, and Henrik Ermer. And we'll see if there's anybody else in the field today. And there is. We see Josiah Jerome, so we got at least 18 cars.
Josiah Jerome?
Mm-hmm. There he is.
He retired and was sent off to Malta in exile and had the sleeping sickness.
He did not.
He would never be heard from again.
So today's track is a 14-corner course. None of the corners have names. They're all just numbered, which is kind of odd, actually, because that's been more or less a newer thing within motorsport. And BRNO is a pretty old track. Like, it's old enough that it was once a proposed site of the Czechoslovakian Grand Prix. And, I mean, that country ceased to exist some time ago. And
last Wednesday.
That's kind of all that needs to be said on that matter. Just checking out if there's any like championship implications right now. Well, okay. Immediately there is the battle for the championship in the prototype category. Max Simmons, Tobias Thierol, they come into today very close in the standings. We are talking about literally 1 point differential between the two. So that is damn impressive. Tobias has the slight edge there. And in the GT3 category, nothing. Guillaume Elkanduko's already won that championship, which is no surprise as well. 4 out of 6 races, finished 2nd at Portimao and 3rd at Monza. So, I mean, he's had a ridiculously strong campaign, and there really hasn't been anyone to keep up with him because the other 2 winners, Paul Laro and Pedro Magalhaes, they actually haven't shown up for any of the races. Well, Pedro did. He showed up for Shanghai and retired. But his season has unfortunately been hindered by something that has prevented attendance. And the only other person to have beaten Elkanduko in a race is Luciano Echazo, who's otherwise had a kind of not very great series. He had that 2nd place at Monza, which was a great start. But then P6, P5, P5, P7, P7. So he's not exactly established himself as a championship contender. Although I think he'll probably bring home 3rd place in the standings or 4th place in the standings, depending on how him and Ariel Zatoni straighten out.
What if we just set him on fire?
Also, it should be noticed something is wrong with the the overlay, because one of the pictures is appearing as a broken picture logo. So something's up there. It is not quite working.
Maybe Martin hit himself with a hammer and now the thumbnail is broken.
I mean, possible. So Byron, who you backing today? Is it Tobias Theerolf or is it Maximum Simmons? Who's taking home the title?
Josiah Drone.
That's not an option, sir.
What do you mean? You said he was here.
He's here, but he's not taking home the title.
What? You can easily do that. Just run everybody off the road.
He is
take every point.
Even if he did that, he would still not win the title.
Every single point from first to last, and he wins the championship in one race.
I don't. You know what? Even if he did that, I don't think he would actually win.
That is right.
Because there's been 6 races.
Probably have to go with Max Simmons because while he has had a history of completely fucking things up at the last minute, he hasn't done that in quite a long time.
Indeed, he's been on a very good streak lately. Very much is putting together a hell of a run in multiple series, and really is becoming, in the absence of Mike Stockmill and other people, he's kind of become the standard bearer of ESR.
Tremendous.
The vanguard, if you will.
What, they're racing vans now?
I mean, they can.
The Sabine Schmidt 7000.
Oop. Little contact taking into the pits there between Adam Komorowski and Andrew D. Hopefully no hard feelings there. I actually really like this circuit. It would have been one of the reasons why I would actually have done this series would be to get in on this, but I also knew that there were going to be some scheduling problems coming along with that road.
And how did you know that?
Well, because I signed the contract.
Are you some sort of a witch? You can see the future?
I can see my own employment future.
I'm calling the Inquisition.
That's about it.
Hello, Inquisition. How may I help you? Yes, I have found a witch.
Actually, we had some really good pizza today at the so it's good.
I went to the Chinese Schmorg.
To save us all like leaving and going and finding dinner. It's been a lot of us like just like $20 pizza. There you go.
Hell yeah.
We got it from Red Swan Pizzeria.
Ooh, that sounds either like really good pizza or it's shitty pizza and it's a front for an assassination ring.
Really good pizza. Really good pizza. It was very impressive. We got the we got a variety. There was a veggie pizza, meat lovers pizza, all that good stuff. Basically, essentially a Canadian pizza. You know, mushroom, green pepper, pepperoni, bacon. They were all very good.
One of the local places does a veggie korma pizza. My brother orders that and hasn't put chicken on it.
I didn't have the mushrooms pizza because I do not like mushrooms on pizza.
It's a crime against humanity.
Here we go. We are off. I've never seen this camera view actually. We're at the back of the pack.
Rocket everywhere.
And we're off to the start here. And it looks like Steve Dave has retained the lead. Bertrand Barrier behind him. The problem here at the start, of course, is that there are so many Audi cars that I'm not entirely sure who everybody is. And it does look like Steve Dave has gotten away with Max Simmons, Bertrand Barrier, Martin Edmonds, and Tobias Theerolf. So Theerolf's championship hopes, I'm not going to say over by any means. I mean, this is a 1 hour long race, but he's got some work to do coming from 5th place. Not a great start. In the GT category, Ariel Zatoni did not get a very good start off the line. He finds himself behind everybody, actually. He's at the back. So I wonder if he got touched. Magic Kazchuk, Luciano Chazo, Vic Vega, 3rd place. Adam Komorowski and Josiah Jerome started dead last. He's up to 5th. Another bad starter was Dybom and Rene Ermer. So I wonder Irmer, Zatoni, Baum. Was there maybe some kind of incident there? We'll find out. Bertrand Barrier dropping back through the field, losing out to Martin Edmonds. And it is a 1-2-3 for the Audi core now. Kornoff next. Reeder in behind him. And then it is D and Andreasen.
Good Steve Dave.
Steve Dave out front. He's the
Great
number 3.
coming in second.
He's the number 3 Audi. Simmons the number 2 Audi, and Edmonds the number 1 Audi. They're in reverse. They're in reverse numerical order.
Disgusting. Have them destroyed immediately.
I think Steve Dave I can actually tell because I think he's the only one that has the number 3 car, and it's got yellow mirrors. So hopefully I'll be able to have a look at that and be able to identify through that that highly technical evaluation. As Henrik Andreasen trails Andrew D. Lots of action going on, but no actual changes of position. Barrier looking down the inside of Martin Edmonds. He'll cover for now. And Mauricio Delgado up to 5th place now as Josiah Jerome has toppled down the order down to 16th.
Get him, Mauricio.
9th in the class.
Mauricio gonna do it. He's gonna do it to him.
He's got Adam Komorowski's big honking Camaro to deal with right now. And that thing is a slab. That is a sledgehammer on wheels. I feel like it would be your choice of car, Byron. It's great for making room, getting the elbows out.
I'm gonna make love to your bumper. Knee down beside the wires.
Jeremy Reeder hanging around. Oh! Bertrand Barrier spun out, and I don't see how that could have involved another car. I think he just lost it. That'll drop him probably to the back of the prototype field, though Jeremy Reeder appears to be off track. So, Reeder in evasive action did not have a good time. There's Ariel Zatoni. Go, Ariel! I love that livery. I love that Black Falcon. Almost makes me want to drive the Mercedes SLS, which is not a car I enjoy in any sense of the term. Henrik Andreasen on the tail of Andrew D. Now battling for 5th. They were battling for 7th. But the misfortunes of Barrier and Reeder have put them behind them. Barrier in the background, and our favorite livery, the green and black prototype. The Bob Marley car.
Is it jamming?
It is jamming. I think we might have lost Henrik Irmer as he is down a lap to everybody, so not surprise me if we have lost the Icelandic driver? I do believe that is the Icelandic flag.
I believe it would be the Firelandic flag, actually.
There is no Fireland.
That's what you fucking think. What do you think Tierra del Fuego means? Smart guy.
Oh!
Yikes.
But it's not from the Crosby.
Oh!
D-Bomb getting into it with Ariel Zatoni.
That's a paddling. I'm snitching to the stewards. Actually, Mike's snitching right now. You can't tell because you can't hear him, but he is.
You're not wrong.
He's dry snitching.
Sir, I am the steward's assistant, and we have long had the establishment that anything that we catch on broadcast kind of needs to be investigated.
Well, I suppose.
kind of we actually realized that when like for the longest time we didn't take notes off of the commentary, but then somebody rightfully, I should say, rightfully pointed out that like if we're going to note an accident on our actual broadcast, we kind of need a stewarding report to talk about it. And needless to say, that looked like that could have been a racing incident to a certain degree. It looked like both guys had some contact, but it definitely it warrants a closer look. For sure, I think.
I would like to report Bertrand Barrier for being very green.
Your report is noted. The penalty has been assessed that we note that he is super green.
Indeed.
I really like that livery. Very good livery.
Actually, I believe that's more from the gallbladder. Green and all.
Going down the inside of Andrew D, and is unable to get through at the moment. Not sure when Andreasen got past D, but it must have happened sometime relatively soon. Reader is falling back, so this makes me think he's definitely got some damage on that car. And in the meantime, it looks like we've lost Ariel Zatoni and Dive Bomb from the race. So the penalty there might be a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word I want to use. My vocabulary is failing me as we watch Rene Ermer deal with Adam Komorowski. Delgado has gotten past him, and now the other Corvette of Ermer would like to get through. The war of Corvette v Camaro for Chevrolet's love.
The winner is the
Chevette. What will be the Cam then? This will be a hybrid of Camaro.
It's disgusting.
Ermer is through. Corvette, of course, Corvette does have a much more rich racing pedigree than the Camaro does, to be fair.
That's interesting.
Well, Camaro has had a pretty rich history in NASCAR, but outside of that, not a ton. So, like when we're talking about like GT style sports cars, Corvette definitely has had the historical edge. You're saying Camaros can't turn? Depending on the model, yes.
Fair enough.
There are definitely some Camaros that can't turn.
What the fuck are we gonna do with this, Jim? I don't know. Fucking throw it in NASCAR.
It's a fucking sledge. Vic Vega having a really good day, by the way, speaking of Corvettes. Up in third place. Tip of the hat to him. He's shown promise at times, but he's never really had like that complete race. So I am hoping Vic Vega comes through today to have a really solid.
There he is, Josiah Drome, going in 150th place. What's going on there?
Well, he started at the back, then he got up into the top 5, but then fell back to the back. So I think he had a spin or a contact or something. Car looks okay, so I expect to see him move through the field a little bit because we know Josiah is ridiculously fast.
Correct.
Toby the Theorulf still in a position right now where Max Simmons would be the champion. And it's pretty easy actually here with a 1-point gap between the two. It's basically who finishes in front of the other is your champion. And right now, Max Simmons is second. Tobias Thierolf is in fourth.
Fourth Keith. Maybe you should get out there with a baseball bat and stick it.
Oh,
in
the
Max
word I
Simmons'
was looking for. Oh, Rene Armour getting really, really close with Mauricio Delgado. Only one Corvette. Well, actually, these guys are fighting for second place in this Corvettes. The Corvettes do well today. Third, fourth, and fifth. And Baum was looking pretty solid as well. By the way, I thought of a word finally that I was thinking of with before. Pyrrhic penalty.
I was hoping it was tumescent.
I don't think I've ever used the word tumescent.
Should. It's a good word. Catches people's attention.
It is a good word, but I don't know. Just, not part of my common vocabulary. As the blue flags are out for the GT cars, as the race leaders are coming through. It's Max Simmons in the background. Steve Dave, 6.2 seconds up on Max Simmons. Damn. I mean, I've said it. I said it when he took pole. Steve Dave's had some great qualifying performances, but this is the first time he's really just kind of shown up as a race-winning threat. Hopefully, I don't Castor's curse him when he continues in that mold.
We'll just put some castor oil on it, and then it takes the burn out of the castor curse.
You're right. Max Simmons' best buddy in the world right now is the #1 car of Martin Edmonds. He's holding off Tobias Thierolf from battle for third. Oh! Thierolf getting caught up a little bit there by the battle of the Corvettes. Does get clear of them now. Little kiss with the bumper of Rene Armour. Didn't quite need the Barry White on that one.
There he is, Josiah Jerome coming for that death.
Indeed, the ample ass of Adam Komarowski's Camaro. Number 44 Target car. It's, Henrik Andreasen? Yeah, that's Andreasen. Works his way through. I always forget who the red and white car is, and who the white and red car is between Andreasen and Andrew D. Oh, Josiah Jerome overtakes Adam Komarowski, but we don't get to see it on camera. We just get to see that. Well, we just get to see that Josiah moved up a spot.
Well, who's in charge of editing around here?
That would be the auto director, sir.
I need all feeds at all times for optimal racing footage, so that the screen is taken up by 18 tiny little squares, and you can't actually see it.
Kind of like I got to sit in on a 6-hour race. In the stewarding booth, and yeah, it's basically like that. The Discord is just like everyone's looking at a different feed, looking at different cars. There's like 8 stewards working together to find the accidents. Would you gentlemen please look up at monitor number 7? We have an accident that we would like your opinion. Barrier on the tail of just lost Jeremy Reeder, it looks like. Not sure if that's a technical disconnection or, for lack of a better term, a rage quit, because his car did seem to be not working properly for quite some time.
The rage.
And of course, with the championship not really being a thing for him, this is his first race. It is entirely possible he's decided, you know what? I've got a new child. It's time to go be a dad.
I've got a new child, and it's time for me to put it in a pit full of wolves so it grows up strong.
We've lost our first prototype, as well as 3 GT cars with Bomb, Zatomi, and Irma.
Drop bombs on them.
Luciano Achazo dropping back a couple spots there. Oh, he's pitting. Okay. Pit window is open, so Luciano doing what actually has been kind of his standard thing. He is definitely an undercutter. And looks like maybe Adam Komorowski is also.
Pity the fool.
That would be a bit interesting because Komorowski has historically been a late pitter. He's been an overcutter historically. He is going for the undercut today.
Does he perhaps use the pit stick?
He might. Oh, very close. Rene Irmer getting very close to the back end of Mauricio Delgado.
I'm not gonna lie, that engine sounds like somebody really fucked up a blender.
I mean, I guess I hear it.
Sounds like somebody put something semi-solid, like an Indian rubber ball in the blender, and just like, I can't do this.
Rene Irmer running in 4th place, trying to get that podium off of Delgado, though, to be clear, probably are both behind Luciano Achazo once the pit stops sort out. So this is probably more of a battle for 4th place rather than. So of course, we'll see. We'll see if the undercut for Achazo works out.
It might,
because he's putting up some great pace right now. He's closing in on Josiah Jerome at a rapid rate of knots. Irmer again, coming very close to Mauricio. You get the feeling that Irmer is the faster of these 2 cars, but being faster is not the same as overtaking.
He really wishes to caress Mauricio.
Catching is not overtaking. That's I think the reality that Irmer is facing right now. Now, devil's advocate here. Irmer might want to try and do the Achazo Komorowski plan and come in relatively early for a pit stop. Try and play the undercut. But of course, depends on how these guys are feeling about tire wear and about gas consumption and so on. There could be a number of different reasons why that strategy is not really an option.
Gas consumption and gasket consumption.
That too. Meantime, Tobias Theerwolf still in the shadow of Martin Edmonds. And Irmer is not going to go for the pits this time, still trailing the flaming Corvette of Mauricio. Luciano Achazo actually losing some ground that lap, so I wonder if maybe some blue flags came into play. That's always the question when you have a multi-class field going at it. There's always some potential blue flags happening. And this would not be the time for Ichazo to get those, because Ichazo's got the presumably fresh tires right now. This is the time he wants to make ground. And we'll see if we can get it.
I will, of course, be handing out the purple flags, which means when you pull into the pit, you get a nurple.
Actually, moderately surprised there are no purple flags.
There is now.
It's the Byron flag.
I'll make up the rule. I just wave it around. What does that mean? Well, today it means that you have to reverse engineer your competitor's tires.
You, of course, have the green flag, which is what we're racing under right now. Yellow flag for caution. Oh, side by side between Edmonds and Theorolf. Theorolf knows he's kind of got to get past Edmonds if he wants to have a shot at that title. Because right now, Max Simmons is winning the championship. And Tobias Theorolf would like to at least have a crack to prevent that, because they're about 6 seconds behind Max at this point. Really awkward time to move the camera there, Auto Director. Theorolf did get third place, but we didn't get to see the finalization of the pass. There's the yellow flag, which is caution. The red flag, which is stop the race. There is the checker flag, which of course means race over. There is the white flag, which is... There are actually two different ways to use the white flag. White flag is slow car on track. And the other one is, of course, last lap. And the blue flag, that's the ever-famous get out of the way. You're being loud. And there's the meatball flag, which is please get your ass in the pits because your car is fucked.
And the chartreuse flag, which is for General Ali.
Can't think of any other flags off the top of my head. There are more, but I suspect that any more, they're like really situational flags at this point.
What, y'all don't use the Jolly Roger?
No.
Why not? It's the single most recognizable flag in the world.
Black flag, which is
Hell
disqualified. Yeah. Which is you've been disqualified.
Black flag means Henry Rollins about to tear your tits off. That's what that means.
Mr. Rollins would like to see you in the pit lane.
Correct. You have done a naughty. You shall be sequestered thusly.
Evans now about. Oh, Tobias is a little impatient with Luciano Ichazo there. A little bit of the flashing headlights, a little bit of the get out of my way. He is catching Max Simmons quite quickly though, because when he got past Edmonds, he was 6 seconds behind him. He's now only 4 seconds behind, so it's been 2 seconds. That was Steve Davidson going through there, race leader. And Rene Ermer has fallen a bit behind Mauricio Delgado in the blue flag exchanges there. And Josiah Jerome is coming for it. Vic Vega, I believe, is in the pit lane. Indeed, confirmation. Confirmation of pit stop served. And it looks like Luciano Ichazo has actually jumped him, so... Ichazo working his magic through the pit stops. Quite a bit ahead, actually. Vega must have had a really long pit stop. I wonder... Can I get the pit stop times in RaceRoom, or is that not a thing? Because in ACC, we could look up the relative pit stop times. I'm not sure if we can do the same here. we can. Luciano Achazzo, 36.9 in the pits. Very, very quick pit stop. Vic Vega, 50.33. It's a good 14 seconds difference. 13 seconds anyways. So, that would explain it. He would have jumped him anyways, though. It's not just a faster pit stop, but it does make me wonder if maybe Achazzo took only 2 tires as opposed to 3 tires. Because I can see here that he did have the second fastest pit stop.
Even faster than Super Pits Johnson.
Yes.
Wow.
Rene Ermer going in, so he is going to try and undercut Mauricio Delgado as well as Josiah Jordan. Let's see if that works out for him. And we'll see where he comes out in relation to Achazzo and Vega. I think he's definitely going to come out behind Achazzo. Can he slot in between Achazzo and Vega? Because that would be a net. Oh, Magic Kazchuk drive through penalty, speeding in the pit lane. By the way, Byron, look who's in the lead of the GT category there, in 8th place overall, but leading the GT category.
Oh my God, it's Steve Davidson.
It's Mauricio Delgado.
Oh, of course. Get him, Mauricio.
Now, granted, Delgado in the lead because of pit stops, not on.
Wow, you're just gonna ruin everything all the time.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
The leader is probably right now Luciano Achazzo, effectively. Let's see if that comes through. Because Achazzo has Bertrand Barrier looking for a move on Andrew D, but cannot get it. Trying to use the Alpina of Luciano Achazzo as a blocking tool. Andreas in the pits and out. He's the first prototype to pit. Approaching the halfway point here. Barrier is going to get another shot at it. Another chance to use someone as Ricardo Zonta. Spa 2000. And cannot get past D once again. That time it was Magic Kazchuk, who has a penalty to serve. I think Achazzo is effectively your leader. Let's see where Delgado and Jerome filter out here eventually. I suspect it'll be somewhere in the area of Rene Ermer and Adam Komorowski, actually. By the way, I thought Ermer would come close to Bertrand Barrier at the last second, deciding he wants to pit. I thought Ermer would be a lot closer to like Vic Vega, but he's about 24 seconds behind him, or about 16 seconds behind him, and is behind actually Komorowski as well. Kazchuk in to serve his penalty. Mauricio Delgado into the pit lane to serve his pit stop. There is the penalized car of Magic Kazchuk. The power of Haribo was not able to escape the steward's wrath.
Correct. Unless you feed the stewards 3 bags of sugarless gummy bears.
That does sound appealing.
It is not, as a matter of course. You will spend a lot of time in the bathroom being upset.
Can I space the 3 bags out?
No.
For like over like 8 days?
Yes, you can have 1 bag per day. The problem is that even 1 bag is enough to just clean your.
That's why I said 8 days. It'd be a half. It'd be like a half bag. Well, then I've lost interest.
Well, then no reality TV show for you.
I don't really know if I'd want to ever be in a reality TV show.
What, are you kidding me? Your whole life is based around reality TV.
It's not, but like almost all of the reality TV I watch, I hate the actual reality TV parts. I like the competitions. That's it. I don't really like most of the rest of it. And the gameplay. Like when I watch Survivor, I like the challenges, I like the gameplay. I could honestly do without the actual drama. Most of the time, because I find it just silly. Because it's almost always people it's almost always people accusing people of doing things that they may have done, to be clear, but that they would have also done. So like,
Correct.
What's the actual accusation? It's like whenever there's a rookie who tries to stand up for rookie rights on the challenge, it's like, we shouldn't be treated differently just because we're rookies, and then goes on to be part of the oppressive regime like the next season. It's like you will do the exact same thing. Don't worry. Like I remember there's a challenger by the name of Jen who, like, when she was a rookie, was like pissed that she kept getting sent into elimination like 3 or 4 times. Because she was the only rookie on her team, and then like a couple of seasons later, she's literally yelling at one of the rookie girls like, "You are a rookie. You will be treated like dirt." Yep. The cycle is complete. As Tobias Thierolf and Max Simmons into the bits at the same time. Thierolf was making up great ground there. I'm actually a little surprised that he's elected to pit at the same time as Max. I would have either gone for the undercut or the overcut, because there are tactical advantages to the overcut and the undercut. Going in at the same time just kind of more neutralizes the race. Now, obviously, maybe he can get a better pit stop out of that. Steve Davidson also in the pit lane, by the way. So Josiah Jerome is the only person still to pit. See what happens with that.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happens. Destruction.
And Steve Davidson rejoins. It says in second place, but Tobias hasn't left the pit, so that's just what happened there. Is Tobias's pit was probably just further down the pit lane. And Steve Davidson rejoins in first place. Max Simmons is rolling. Thierolf is rolling, but it is going to be Simmons out ahead of Thierolf. And that could decide the championship. Sorry, I had to burp that.
Gross. You're fired.
Luciano Achazo taking the lead as Josiah Jerome hits the pits. So Luciano's... Now, here's the question. Luciano pitted very, very early, and presumably only took 2 tires due to the speed of his pit stop. How do you think he can nurse the tires that he started the race on to the end, Byron? That's the question. Because he's not our good friend Martin Evans, who I would absolutely think can't do it.
I'll give it a solid maybe.
We'll find out. Josiah Jerome will come out probably in last place. Yep. Rene Ermer does go through, so relegated to the back. Adam Kowarowski's pit stop is actually looking much, much better, although the problem is I think he only took 2 tires, and of course the Camaro does have some of the highest tire wear in the field. I'm not sure that that's going to work out long term, but we'll find out. Can he hold on against Ermer and Jerome? That is the question, because they're catching him. The gap is actually growing right now. It was shrinking for a bit. Henrik Andreasen working his way past the GT leader. You know who really did not have a good pit stop, though? Bertrand Barrier has found himself at the back of the prototype field once again by 12.5 seconds. So definitely a big failure from the Bob Marley team to get their car serviced.
Maybe they're all jammed up.
Maybe they're all jammed up.
No pit stop, no cry.
Or maybe they don't worry, be happy. Henrik Andreasen running in 6th place, trying to catch up with Andrew D. Is that battle in the championship, or is that kind of really... Yeah, it's the battle for 4th place in the championship. That's a little bit of value, I suppose, but I think that to overtake Andreas and Andrew D needs to get a couple of cars. I think that's going to happen. Both men have been on the podium 3 times this season. A second, 2/3 for Andreas. Highlight was that 2nd place at the Nürburgring. And Andrew D has been 1 step away from winning twice this season, taking 2nds at Paul Ricard and at Shanghai. Letting you guys enjoy the sounds of the prototypes.
Oh, I could ruin it for him if you want.
Well, no, I like RaceRoom's engine sounds have always been ranked incredibly high in terms of like realism and stuff. So I do like to, give the commentary a little bit of a break when nothing's happening and let just kind of enjoy the sound. But Henrik Andreasen is on the attack against Andrew D. So we gotta get back into the commentary here because this battle for 5th place is on.
The winner gets the championship because we're going to just execute whoever finishes first.
We will see if Henrik in the Emirates car can overtake the Cannon car of Andrew D. Interesting note, both Emirates and Cannon have been the title sponsor for the Williams F1 team. So, interesting little thing at play here.
Also, Silly Putty.
You would think Silly Putty would have sponsored a motorsports team at some point.
Nope.
Lego did.
Silly Putty.
Lego did. Lego sponsored a World Rallycross team. Now, why Duplo Box didn't get on the Ken Block bandwagon and sponsor Ken Block, I don't know. That seems like a natural option.
Correct.
Henrik Andreasen on board. You can see what he sees from the inside of his P1 prototype. Of course, the P1 class is used a lot in endurance racing, as well as the Prototype 2 class, which is a slightly slower car.
Slower than your average bear?
Definitely faster than your average bear, but slower than your average prototype.
What about slower than your average rocket bear?
I don't know, how fast is a rocket bear?
Fast as a rocket, at least one rocket.
Well, no, I think it would be slower than a rocket because it would have the payload of a bear.
No, because you need enough rocket to make it as fast as a rocket. That's what rockets do. You fail to take into account rocket technology.
I'm pretty sure rockets are still slowed down by payload.
Nope. You just add more rocket.
Multiple.
Not just bigger rocket.
See if Andreasen can find his way around Andrew D. Again, not really much at stake for the championship here, but, bragging rights between these two guys. Andrew D is a guy who missed a couple of races this season. I want to say 2. I want to to say 2. I am correct. He was absent at Portimao and Nürburgring. And if he had been at those races, I think he'd probably be ahead of Andreasen in the championship. For Andreasen's point, though, he's had a great recovery in the second half of the season after having a bit of a rough time. René Armour trying to pick off the wearing thin on tires Adam Komorowski here for 5th place in the GT field. My theory is that Camaro is still on 2 of its original tires and therefore is probably struggling a fair bit here. 18 so Armour might be on some fresh tires. This is just guessing based on Komorowski's very rapid pit stop. Andreasen had a pretty weak start to the season and finished 7th at both Monza and at Shanghai, which are respectable number results. But it wasn't until that 3-race hot streak he had from Road America to Portimao that things really got going right. Because he took 3rd at Portimao, or Road America, pardon me. 2nd at Nürburgring. Oh! A little bit of a dive bomb there. Bit of contact.
No, I think he was out early in the race.
That one for the Stewart. Not sure. I feel like my immediate gut reaction is I think Andreasen came from too far back there to really make that work. But never know. Steve Davidson going sliding wide, and Magic Kaszczuk playing the role of Ricardo Zonta. Max Simmons is in the lead. By the way, how is Simmons caught up to Davidson so quickly? Steve, what's up? Ever since the pit stop, it looks like Steve Davidson just has no pace.
I believe it's because he had 42 waffles in the pits.
I mean that would be ill affecting. But I really hadn't even thought that there'd be a battle for the lead here because Davidson had been in such control in the first half of this race. But all of a sudden, not only is Max Simmons on his way to a championship, but he's on his way to a 3rd win this season, having previously won at Shanghai and Road America. René Armour still has not solved Adam Komorowski. Josiah Jerome coming with. Mauricio Delgado, by the way, big winner in the pit stops, actually came up well ahead of both Armour and Jerome.
He wins best pit stop 2022.
Well, no, the best pit stop in terms of the fastest was Komorowski's, but the strategy executed by Mauricio Delgado has been excellent. He was one of the big winners in the pits. Didn't pick up any spots. He's behind the cars he was already behind, but he's got himself a lot of breathing room as Herbert does find his way past Komorowski. Andrew D. Put a lap on them. This is not the place you want to catch them, though. It's a little bit hard to get through the blue flags in that twisty bit. Pit window closes. Everyone got their pit stop done, so nothing really to discuss there. Can Steve Davidson make a comeback here? His best result this season, a pair of 5ths at the Nürburgring and at Portimao. Either way, he is approaching his first podium of the season. Bertrand. Ooh, that's an awkward spot. Good job by Barria to get around that traffic. And the GT leader, Luciano Chazzo, mixing it up with the prototype leaders for the time being. Martin Edmonds has really fallen out of this battle for the podium. Now 14 plus seconds in the rear. Tobias Thierol was a car that he was battling with it for considerable amounts of time. It looks like after a kind of a weak start to the race, as Andrew D loses a spot to Henrik Andreasen. So Andreasen getting back at him after the contact. Mauricio just went to the back of the pack. What has happened with Mauricio? Camera guy, can we get a look at Mauricio Delgado? Have we lost him from the race? The gap is growing. This suggests that we might have lost him.
No.
That's a shame. Mauricio's been having such a solid run. Worked the pit stop strategy to perfection. And yeah, that gap is still growing. So either he is parked at the side of the track somewhere, disconnected, or in the pit lane. Those are really your three options. And we'll promote Josiah Jerome into 5th place, Irmer into 4th, and Komorowski into 6th. Heavy attrition rate for the GT field today. It's the 4th car we've lost. It's Vic Vega getting lapped. Whoa! Andrew, my man, you may want to leave more room in the future. That was very close.
Nah, just use more lube.
Steve Davidson on the tail of Max Simmons. Now, if you're Max Simmons, I assume he's done his mental calculations. He knows he just has to beat Tobias Thierol to take the championship. How hard do you fight this? Like, if obviously you want to win the race. I'm not suggesting anything else about that. But if Andrew D, or if Steve Davidson, pardon me, goes on the attack super hard, do you risk the championship to fight him?
Yes.
That's how you end up not getting championships, though.
Wow, only if you lose.
True. Well, no, he could beat Davidson and still lose the title if Tobias just comes through and pit over Dixon Belt.
What if pit lane is lined with cheetahs?
I don't think that really has anything to do with this.
Well, I mean, you're going to go out there and do pit stop shit with cheetahs around?
I mean, you'd probably have to just build the car to be cheetah-proof.
Well, yeah, but what about the pit stop dudes?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's more the pit stop crew that has to worry about that than the driver.
Words of Dr. Gonzo, we must arm ourselves to the teeth. And we will need the cooking.
Steve Davidson looking for an answer. Whatever was wrong with his pace before seems to have fixed itself, because he is all over the back of Max Simmons, unless Max is just not really pushing, which I guess is on the table. Barrier is smelling around Andrew D, trying to get a spot there. Looks like D does not have a great deal of pace right now. I don't recall if he pitted particularly early.
I believe he pitted at some point. That's all I got for him.
Solid. Oh! Andrew D getting a little physical with Luciano Echazo. It does have to be said, if I'm Luciano Echazo, 20-plus second lead at the front of the pack, probably a little bit more cooperative with these blue flags, just because I just need to finish the race. I just need to bring it home. So I personally would not get into that position, although nothing legally says that he has to be more cooperative. Tobias Theerolf not really keeping up with the battle for the lead, now about 4 seconds off the lead. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go. We're looking at a minute 45 lap apparently. So what's up here? Maybe 5 laps? Maybe 5 laps. Bertrand Barrier all over the back end of Andrew D. Looking to dive down the inside. Nope. That's better of it. Andrew went a little deep. Not enough to open up a gap to the inside.
Put it in deep.
Steve Dave. Still looking for that win. Coming up to Adam Komarowski. I do think Komarowski's gamble on the tires has probably failed as he has slipped to the back of the GT field. I just don't think that the Camaro offers the opportunity to make that strategy work. About it again. Nothing going yet. But I feel a lunge coming.
Lunge coming?
At some point.
What time?
At some point. It's going to have to be pretty soon if Barrier wants to have any shot at maybe getting back into the top 5 and getting past Andreasen. Because we know Barrier has the pace. He's always had the pace. It's just a matter of putting everything together.
I'm still caught up where you said the lunch was coming.
I apologize.
Is Josiah Jerome a big old rusty motherfucker right now? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. He's not had his trademark speed. I think part of it, though, is he's just not getting practice in because, if I recall correctly, almost every race he's not had a qualifying time. So I think he's just arriving kind of like basically right before the race and having to just kind of go with a lot less track time.
He's learning on the yob.
Learning on the yob.
Well, might I recommend that he stay off the heroin and, do better.
Oh, Max Simmons gets very wide, goes to the inside. That's an aggressive defensive move. So I think we had the answer to my question before because I said, would Max Simmons risk the championship to win the race? I think the answer is yes. Because that was some aggressive driving. Time being, he's hanging on.
Can you also see him?
I can see him, yes.
You can see the time being?
Yes.
Terrifying.
Whoa! Steve Dave takes the lead. I wish we had seen that from outside the car, because essentially right there, Magic Kaschuk, who earlier played a really large role in Simmons taking the lead of the race, actually kind of paid Davidson back there. Simmons got just completely blocked in by the lap traffic, and we now have a lead. I love that move. That's very Michael Schumacher, Mika Hakkinen at Spa 2000. Again, utilizing the lap traffic in a spectacular way. It was Max, and now it's Steve, and now this time it's Steve Davidson. Steve is back to the front, and he's only gonna have like probably 3 laps to go to hold off him. And suddenly Tobias Thierolf, he could smell Max Simmons. He could smell championship.
Actually, I believe those are gas fumes.
They often smell very much the same.
Interesting.
Josiah Jerome on the tail of Rene Armour. 2 guys I have a lot of experience with battling on the track. Josiah more in his early days, in his academy days, than in the we'll call it the era of Josiah as one of the up and comers, fastest drivers in the ESR. Back when his laptop was falling apart as he raced, I could totally beat him.
How would you beat him? With a stick while he was asleep.
How would I beat him? By making his laptop fall apart. That's the answer.
Also correct.
Tobias Thierolf, Max Simmons. This is a hell of an end to the championship right here. It is up for grabs between these two. The GT Championship has long been sold and forgotten. Guillaume El Conduco is taking that trophy home. He is going to give it a nice home. Up on the mantle. But the prototype trophy is still up for grabs. Tobias Thierolf versus Josiah Jerome in the same car, because they're both in the number 2 Audi. Can he get the job done? Germany v. USA.
Well, I mean, Germany's never lost one of those.
Never at all.
So that'd be easy.
Meantime, Steve Davidson up 2 seconds now. Looks like he's got that in hand. Josiah Jerome versus Rene Armour also on the track. These are the 2 battles we're looking at. This one is for, no offense, gentlemen, but significantly less stakes than, the championship. But still interesting. Checker flag is out. It looks like Max Simmons is your champion. Because I think he's crossed the line. Not entirely sure. But I think him and Tobias have finished the race. This would be one of those times where I prefer the ACC showing the checkered flag next to cars that have finished. Because otherwise I'm just kind of guessing.
They've all finished. The drivers have been executed.
Josiah has not finished.
It's just his headless body.
Henrik Andreasen is not finished. Rene Armour is not finished.
Like when you stab a lobster in the brain, they keep moving. They can't
make it take you moving. And
Armour
hangs on. Armour crosses the line ahead of Josiah Jerome, Andrew D, and Henrik Andreasen as well. Bertrand Barrier must have made a mistake at some point. This is well off the back of D. And we'll probably finish this race in 7th position. So we're on board with the cool down lap of Josiah Jerome. There are your final results. Steve Davidson taking victory ahead of Max Simmons, Tobias Thierolf, Martin Edmonds, Henrik Andreasen, Andrew D, and Bertrand Barry in the prototype category. Luciano Achazo winning from Magic Kaszuk, Vic Vega on the podium. Rene Ermer fourth, Josiah Jerome fifth, sixth for Adam Korowski. Apparently, Mauricio Delgado was still circulating. He just must have done something. He must have been at the side of the track, I guess, for a while, because he actually only finished a lap down to Komorowski. So he did finish.
He must have pulled over for a chalupa.
And he'll take home a 7th place as a result. Jeremy Reeder, D. Baum, Ariel Zatoni, and Henrik Ermer all out of the race.
Dang.
Championship updates. So as I said, Max Simmons takes the title home, 126 points to 123 for Tobias Thierolf. Martin Edmonds, Henrik Andreasen, and Andrew D rounding off the top 5. And in the GT category, Guillaume Elkin-Ducco finishes first ahead of David Marcadet. Then it is Luciano Achazo, Ariel Zatoni, and Magic Kaszuk rounding off the top 5. In the team's championship, TUGAS Racing number 3, Tobias Thierolf, Jamie Fordham, and Henrik Andreasen is your champions. They won by just 9 points, by the way, over the Canadian Pool 2.0. That's Magic Kaszuk, Martin Edmonds, and Steven Davidson. And in third place, it was Team GTR3, Barrier, Marcadet, and Adrakor, 187 points. Elkin-Ducco and Bodine scored 179 in the GTR3 team number 2. And eSports Argentina number 1, that is Luciano Achazo, Matthias Gonzalez, and Gaston Lecurzi round off the top 5. And I don't think we're really going to go any further on the standings there. Byron, what did you think of the series, and what did you think of the race?
I believe that the race in the series definitely took place and that things occurred.